still not allowed to do business. They just
that was
hook for the money.
That was not a yeah.
So did they eliminate all the monetary penalties?
Yes, but she says she's going to appeal that. But as far as the court is concerned, it was an excessive amount at $500 million.
Yeah, probably was.
Probably
They upheld, but the thing is, like you're saying, they actually upheld the fraud ruling, so that stands. He committed fraud. They did not change that.
Yeah, the reason he gave is that there wasn't a monetary victim because the banks, he paid the bank loans and all of that. But so even though he committed fraud to get the money, he doesn't really owe them anything.
So what have you done? Put a scroll in the bottom of the screen?
Yeah, I saw that and played with it.
Yeah.
I'm now trying to.
I like it, but we're headed somewhere we just don't always face that way.
Yeah. Well, have you all noticed the guy on the horse facing the wrong direction that I use for a logo? Yeah.
No.
That goes with that saying. Let's see. I'm going to look at something here.
So what else are you up to, Jack?
Oh, just not much anything. I went out and bought me a new throw rug. My floors are a mess and I haven't got down and laid new flooring. So I put down a rug so it doesn't look quite so bad when somebody comes over. And bought one. It's like $119 or stuff. And it looks pretty nice.
Yeah.
I rolled up the other one and it's an 8 by 10 rug. And so I rolled it up and folded it up and it fit in my dumpster. So get rid of the old wore out dirty one. I tried taking it out on the old one. I tried taking it out on the old clothesline out back and saw if I could, hose it down and got the power washer out and stuff. And it helped it some, but it still, the new one looks better. I'm sitting there going, I should have done that last year instead of trying to make do with what the old one, but I'm cheap. My sister was laughing at me and said, you've got all this money and said you won't spend a bit of it.
Well, I had a bit of a windfall, went to Safeway and pick up stuff for pedo beans tonight. And
okay, I'm back. And just so you know, I'm trying something here. I put us live on YouTube because I haven't tried this before and I wanted to see how it works. Anyway, we're live on YouTube.
Anyway, I went and bought a $5 lottery ticket, 120, and then I noticed down in the bottom someone had bought a $20 Powerball ticket and just walked off and left it behind. So I grabbed it and I went over and asked the manager, well, what do I turn this in? What do I do with it? And he says, I guess it's your lucky day. So I got a free $20 Powerball ticket for tomorrow night.
I haven't bought a Powerball. I guess since I retired and stuff, I haven't bought a Powerball ticket in, I don't know, probably 6 or 7 years. It just, I got to thinking about it. It's one of those, we were sitting there, Sherry and I talk about what we do, and I just realized if I won one of the big ones, that I have to actually work and manage my money. Anything more than just what it takes to survive is more than I need.
Well, I always thought that when I'd buy myself a house and a new car, and then set up a whole lot of charity and, you know, some trust fund for the kids, and but other than that, not much to do with it.
Now, just so y'all know, in case you want to censor yourself, I actually do have us live on YouTube, and I put a link on Trail Mix. So on Trail Mix, people can click that and actually watch us live right now. I hadn't tried this before. I knew it was there. I just hadn't tried it. So anyway,
So we need
just
to quit
so you know.
gossiping about our fellow trail mixers, right?
Right? Yeah.
Okay. Hey,
So,
when we didn't mean a thing, I'm serious.
right. Yeah. So I don't know. Can either of you access Trail Mix right now, or are you on the same machine that's doing this?
Well, I'd have to go off a bit, but I can let them know. I can go. One moment.
Well, it's there. I just curious if you had another. I only have this phone with me, but if you had another computer or something with you, you could pull up Trail Mix and see what that looks like, because I've never even seen what it looks like when I put a live chat on there.
One moment.
So that's what we can do. The thing is, I don't know if I can interact with people or not.
Yeah, it looks great.
And it's live. I mean, you can click it open. And what? Is that right?
Hit play, and there you are.
And there, all three of us, right? You can see all three of us.
Yes.
Well, isn't that something?
How about that?
So we can have live chat right there. Huh. Maybe we can get. Hey, people, get on here. Maybe we can convince them. I'm going to get these people on here if I have to come to their houses and film them.
I tell you, it's
You
getting,
know, maybe we should try and say something intelligent.
Yeah.
Well, you know, we're doing a little bit like what my niece does with her college friends. She schedules a video conference dates, you know, like this.
Yeah.
And because I'll be there, and she goes, well, I've got to go up and get on this. And that's what she said. That keeps up with her college friends, and they'll have an hour chat or so.
The son and grandson both have a group that they play like D&D games, but they're all over the world. They've got a member up in Canada and one down in Mexico, and they go on for a couple of hours a few times a week.
Mm-hmm. I think our younger people have so many varied interests. I mean, it can't be just my family that does this, but I have one that does live role playing. They go out and dress up as elves and wizards and stuff and run through the woods.
Well, let's see now. I don't know if I put. So there's a link to this live stream, and so I put that on the community post on YouTube. I don't know who sees that. Anyway, so I just hadn't really been doing these live but now that we're getting used to it more and everything, we can just do these live. We don't have to wait and record them and post them and all that. We can also do that.
Well, you can pick out the more pertinent and relevant items and do that, but
what I've been doing is having the Yardstream has an AI clip generator, they call it, and you can have it go through the whole video. I've had it do this with the last couple we've done, and it will pick out, and you can tell it what kind of clips do you want. Do you want clips that focus on this person or that person, or do you want? And what I chose, I said, because it can actually research what's topical in the news. So one of the options, so I gave it the option is just pick the clips that are about the most current, the most active current events news in search engine. And it did that. It went through and it picked out, like when we were talking about the Texas redistricting and then the DC crime, it picked out clips where we were focusing on things that it knew were in the news. I mean, it did all that by itself. I mean, it's amazing.
Well, feel free to create an AI character with my face if you want to, or grab the one I created of me 40 years ago.
And then we can just have chats while we sleep.
Right.
I don't know.
Was reading something talking about AI. Was reading something the other day. I'm trying to think of the term because it was, but basically it was how AI interacts with people, that it overly compliments them.
Oh, well, you can control that actually.
There's a term on it, but it's like, that AI treats us all like a bunch of kindergartners was basically what they said.
Well, you can control that though.
Yeah.
I changed that. I mean, that's the thing. People complain about that and stuff, but the thing is, there are settings where you choose its personality and its behavior, and that's one of the things they do. They call it sycophancy. It's the thing, and that was a complaint they got early on. And ChatGPT has in this new model that just came out in the last couple of weeks. They have a setting where you can say, I don't want the sycophancy, stop that. And it does. I mean, you can adjust the personality you want all you want. You're not limited to one particular type of interaction. Now I'm going to see. You can talk about details. And I'm going to go see if I can put this link on Blue Sky and see what happens.
I like Blue Sky. I have it set up with two groups, my music group and my political group. And I can go on there and chit chat with them.
I don't know. I think I tried getting on and it was just, I'm just too damn old. It was too much of a learning curve it basically tested my patience real quick. And so I just said, never mind. Because this is about as much social media as I can handle, I think. What we're doing right here. And that's why, I got started on this silly stuff back. Oh, let's see. I'm a late adopter, so I didn't get online until about 1999. And immediately found a couple of groups on Usenet where we sat there and traded arguments and argued back and forth and stuff that I really enjoyed. And at that time would sit there and argue with people and discuss things with people from all over the world. We had people from Australia, from Germany, from England. And
I had that, I was on Comcast and we had a group called the Village Elders. And this is before everything was totally open to the net. You had to go in and join a specific group.
Yeah.
And that was really fascinating. We had writers and engineers and some political types. And I love the Village Elders. And then Comcast got kind of wiped out and it all went over to the net and it stopped being an exclusive thing you could get into.
Yeah. Well, the Usenet, basically you were in control for the most part. You know, they did not, unless they had a moderator. And the one I was on didn't have a moderator, so you had to learn real quick how to block people because they're, you know, what they call net kooks, and you know, and then the trolls and stuff. And so you just start blocking them, and then if people got to interacting with them too much, you'd politely ask them, "Please stop," or I'm going to have to block you too.
Well, I don't go on X very often, just to check some people I know over there every once in a while. But it must be because my regular email is Jessie D. And they must assume I'm male or something. I keep getting regularly inundated with ladies and bearing various body parts that I have no interest in seeing.
Yeah, it's kind of one of those things that I think so much of the ads and stuff, I think I was reading somewhere talking about that they thought the ads on like YouTube were deliberately annoying so that it would cause you to actually pay money to get rid of the ads.
You know, that makes sense, because if that's what they were doing, they got me, because that's one reason I started paying them.
Yeah.
They got me, and it is nice.
Well, it's just, you know, you're sitting here listening to a piece of music. I run into this all the time. You're running to a piece of music, and you're just sitting there getting in a relaxed mood, and they run an ad that is just totally the opposite of what you're listening to.
Oh, really?
You know what irritates me is in this modern world where we have AI, it shouldn't happen.
Yeah.
It should be able to just come in with the same style of music and run the same words and do the same.
Well, and what proves you right that they can do it is they do that with the videos that they push to you. Is those are linked to what you like and what you watch, because they're trying to keep you watching, so they're making sure they're feeding you stuff that you want to see. So they obviously know how to do it.
Well, I mean, the music, the Pandora, when they first came out, they just basically said we can feed you the style of music you like. It may not be ever been on the top 40, but you know, every album has 10 other songs that are just as good as the one that hit the top 40. And that was their sales pitch at the time. Like, it was kind of enjoyable, but you'd say, okay, I like something that like Bob Dylan plays, and they would just sit there and play it pretty close to a similar type of, you know, folk music or something.
But in that case, were you telling them what you want, or were they figuring it out on their own?
Basically, what I did, and I still got them, is when I first got online, this has been, goodness, over 10 years ago. I think 2012, I was looking the other day. And you would basically start a station, and I started John Prine's station. I wanted the music for the neighborhood, so I started John Prine. I did Tejano music. I did African salsa. I did, and since we had an Italian in the neighborhood, I did a Frank Sinatra channel. And I get all the old crooners. And then I did the Charlie Parker channel, which meant I get all the bebop stuff, you know, the old jazz.
There's a service called TuneIn that you can either get free, which comes with all sorts of ads, or if for $10 a month, they have channels like that Jack is talking about, that you selected your favorites and play them, no ads. And the only other shows, you can get them live, but the only ones that have ads are the ones that have live. So you could listen to CNN or MSNBC or anything like that, and the only ads you'll hear are the ones they are running. But all of their other channels are without ads. And it's actually a pretty good service.
So getting back to YouTube, I know they can, if I'm sitting here playing orchestra music of a certain type, I know that their algo or AI can identify that music, and they can bring in an ad that fits those descriptions. And in fact, an AI should be able to just transition from the music to where I never know it.
Oh, yeah.
I'm sitting there going, oh my God, there's an ad.
Yeah.
Or now they're going, I'm just sitting there not listening to the deal. I'm just waiting for the skip this button to come up.
Yeah. Well, the part I really, what's gotten me so hooked on YouTube, and I kind of roughly figured out the other day, I think I watch about 60% of my video TV watching on YouTube now.
Yeah.
But, and one reason is they're just so damn good at knowing what you want to see. You know, I mean, I mean, after a while, you just don't even have to choose channels. It knows what you like. I mean, that might be scary to some people, but I like it.
Well, some things I don't mind, but I do like to have a good variety of stuff. And I think I've kind of convinced YouTube finally, yeah, I'm weird.
Yeah.
I don't want to be bored.
Yeah. It probably figures that out too.
Yeah. It may have. But there was.
They figure out. You know, he likes samba music. Let's try some African drums on him. See if he likes that.
Yeah. Well, it was there was a point there. I think Pogo and I got to doing way too much 60s and 70s rhythm and blues, you know.
Yeah.
So you know that was all it would show me. It was like that was my world, was late 60s and early 70s rock and roll. And I think Anon or whoever he was at the time put on a playlist of different music that he liked, and I started playing it, and it changed the algorithm.
Well, you know, I'm actually liking the kids' music these days, and I've gotten exposed to it on TikTok, because when I put videos on TikTok, and you choose music, you can. I just go with their recommended music, and what they do is I'll do a video on what I call my lazy thoughts. You know, I have videos I do about my lazy thoughts. And anyway, and you put one on, and then it kind of somehow it reviews the transcript of what you're posting and kind of figures out what sort of music would go with it. And TikTok's actually better at this than YouTube. And their recommended music, and I'll say I want trending music. You do trending music that's recommended, because I just want to see what the kids are listening to. And so because of that, I've started getting used to some of the new artists and whatnot with the TikTok crowd, and there's some pretty good music coming along in their world. That it's a lot of it, melodic. For a long time, the new trending music, it just had no melody. But I'm finding in the new music a lot more. I think they're appreciating more melodies now, and a lot of old songs are coming back in that age group. The one on pretty the singer that just recently died, Connie Frank? No, what that era? There's a song of hers that is really popular on TikTok now. Some of these old songs come back, and I think it's because of the melody, because they're really more into melodies than I think we've seen it for a few generations.
I don't
I'm
know.
running into that with my music group on Blue Sky, where they put up a subject and you have to pick a song that matches that subject for the day.
Oh, really? Oh, I've seen those posts of yours. Those are fun.
Right.
Yeah.
And I get to hear a lot of the new stuff that way because so many in the group are so much younger than I am.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
It's fun to do those. So right at the moment, we're doing one group is a month of performers who have passed away, and it's sort of a
Oh,
tribute to them. And the other one is a different subject every day. Today we had things from down on the farm. So I posted, she thinks my tractor's sexy.
is that a song?
Yes.
It is.
Yeah.
Is that a new song or is that?
No, it's a country
It's
song.
an old country song.
Yeah.
Yeah, that sounds like an old country song. That's funny.
Well, that's why I say I used to when I first got on YouTube messing around is I really enjoyed their offerings because I used to call it surfing the YouTube selection, and you just go from one to another of what it would offer of different things. And I think one day I went from ZZ Top on through to I ended up with the John Deere Polka. And I said, where else can you get such variety?
Yeah. What do you think's going on with Blue Sky, Jamie? Is because you're real active on it, and I can't get community going there. I mean, you seem to have gotten some community going where you got some interaction going with people, but it's a lot of drive by kind of stuff from what I've seen experience.
I get quite a bit of, like I said, I set up my own group. I picked people that I was interested in what they were saying, and I put them on
Yeah.
a list. And when I want to talk to the group, I send it to the list, and that gets stuff going. And I also get to see whatever posts the people on that list have put up. And
Yeah.
that gets it. But there isn't the real, I know what you mean by saying there's not the real interaction that we have like on Trail Mix.
Yeah.
I haven't seen
Yeah.
that yet, but
Yeah.
It's much more creating a community type situation. It's kind of like what was the one that came before Facebook that went out of business?
Oh, my MySpace.
yeah,
MySpace was
Yeah.
very much that way. You invited people in and you created your own community, which was a change from, I knew a lot of people that left Usenet because of all the trolls and
Yeah.
and invited just people they wanted to discuss with. Yeah.
Yeah. It seems like Blue Sky's gotten trolls a bit more under control. I think. Seems
yes,
like.
they do.
I
They're
don't know
better.
what they were getting a lot of criticism for it, and I think they find. But they only have about 25, 30 staff. The Blue Sky people, they don't have a lot of staff to do that kind of thing, that kind of moderation.
Well, I don't know how you set up one of those services and manage the idiot.
Yeah.
You've got to almost let the people manage it themselves by either, blocking them or getting them out of the.
Yeah, because like what Jamie's saying is that's how I dealt with X. Is you create a list, you create a group of people that you follow, and then when you just want to see what they're posting, that's who you follow. You're not limited to what they choose you to follow, which a lot of people don't understand about these sites, these platforms. That they think you can only see what Elon Musk wants you to see, but that's not how. Or it doesn't have to.
Craig, I just put a note up under the chat telling you where to go on Blue Sky to see the daily challenge. You might want to get in on that.
Oh yeah, I would. Yeah, yeah. I have seen them a couple of times and joined in a couple of times.
Yeah.
That kind of thing. That's a great way to build community. Those kind of little games and challenges and stuff. Well, YouTube is real hot on wanting to build community. I mean, everybody wants this now. That's kind of the thing in the social media world because they've figured out it's sort of no brainer. But if you build community on a platform, then people stay there longer. You know, that's the key. And so that's why they want it. It's not because they're being altruistic and thinking it's wonderful to help people talk to each other. It's a way to keep people on the site longer if you have community, and YouTube wants that real bad, and they got that community page, and I've got one. In fact, that's what I've got us on right now, this live stream. But they've got some limitations about that they got to figure out that make it harder to get people. Things like they don't let you put links and comments that are clickable. Because they don't want to let people click to other sites. They want you only on theirs.
Yeah.
But that that's limited. I mean, people. Can you imagine if on Trail Mix I said you can put a link in there, but it's not going to be clickable. Anybody wants to see it has to copy it and paste it on their browser. I mean, that would shut down conversation.
No, I cross
Not
post.
like they're after you
cross
again.
post Trail Mix there
Yeah.
every day.
What's that?
I cross post Trail Mix there every day. I'm sure you've seen it.
That you what? This siren.
Oh, I cross
There.
post. I cross post.
Oh yes. Oh, you mean on Blue Sky, right? Yes, I have seen you do that. Yes, I think that's. In fact, sometimes I've seen you do that, and I think, oh damn, I forgot to do that, and it'll remind me. Oh yeah, I should cross post Trail Mix. Sometimes I forget until I see when you've done it.
Yeah,
But I can't figure out if Blue Skies. Do you think it's good? I feel like it had that great burst of growth, and I sense that it's kind of plateaued right now. I don't know.
yes, but the ones that came in that burst seem to be staying, and I'm not seeing a whole lot of you should go here. Remember when it first came up, there were all of these different sites that they wanted you to migrate to.
Oh, the people who were posting on there were saying that, you mean?
Posting on X to say leave here and go there. And it was
Okay.
various sites, and the one that seemed to really catch on more than the others. But a lot of people have gone to Instagram. Don't ask me why, because it
They
holds
have really.
no interest for me.
I played around with both Instagram and Reddit, and in both cases, I just felt like they made it too complicated and too many restrictions on trying to, things that you do and stuff. Plus, I just didn't need more. I've got enough to keep track of.
And what I like about Blue Sky is it tends to be cleaner than some of the other sites I've seen.
Cleaner in what sense?
Sexually.
Oh, right. Okay, yeah.
It's not that I don't know about this. I just don't need it thrown at me.
Yeah. Right. Well, that TikTok. I mean, like, I work so hard to get traffic. I don't know why. I guess just so I'm not feel like wasting my time. But I try to post videos that get a fair amount of traffic on both YouTube and TikTok. And I get on TikTok and I'll like, oh man, that video got 1,200 views, and I'm thinking, boy, that was a big success. And then you'll see some kid that like took his shirt off and got 500,000 views. think, well, I don't think I can do that. I'll just have to stick with what I'm doing.
I did that. They'd flee the scene.
Yeah, that's all I need to do is put my man boobs on TikTok. So that'll really get traffic.
Now, what I've been using quite a bit is Substack, and I
Oh, really? Yeah.
go find
Yeah.
the newsletters from and stuff. And it's kind of one of those where you look over the newsletters and you sit there and read them, what they'll offer for a bit, and then if they're good enough, I'll pay for them. I've got about 3 or 4 that I pay for.
Yeah. No. Like, how much are they?
It depends, anywhere from, usually it's $10 a month or $5 a month. And I've got a couple
either
of them.
5 or 10. I've got a couple.
Yeah.
Well, now, like, I'm just curious who was good enough for you to pay for it?
I really enjoy Chartbook.
What's that?
But that's the name of his. You can Google it; it'll show up.
Is that politics or?
It's a mix of. I think it's a college professor somewhere, and he writes for different magazines too. And it's a mix of politics. It's a mix of world events. And he can come up with a number of different things. But
what's the name of it again, Jack?
Chartbook.
Chartbook.
By
one word?
Adam Toes or something like that.
Huh.
Let me just
who runs that? I keep seeing Substack, and I've read a few things when they were free. I don't know anything about it.
It's a whole bunch of different people writing, and you just you subscribe.
Is that where Heather Cox Richardson's on that? Is that where she is?
Robert Reich is on there. Several politicians are on there.
Huh.
Let me see.
Anyway, it is a mix of world events, interesting things he runs across. It's basically a link aggregation, but he pulls enough stuff off. Let's say if it's a Wall Street story, which I will never be able to afford to access.
His name is
pulls
Adam
enough stuff
Tooze.
off that you understand what the story's about.
Yeah.
And then
Adam,
he links back to it.
Adam Tooze.
Yeah.
Adam Tooze, Tooze.
And it's just kind of interesting. I think today I just glanced, and it's like, the what's going on trade wise with Africa, and just interesting things that you'll never get on the regular media. And like I say, I get bored easily, so I want to know a lot of stuff.
I just did a free subscription to him so I can read him for a while, but then you can pick a monthly or an annual, and they have different prices if you want to subscribe to the majority of his stuff.
Now, is this thing still on Trail Mix? This live stream that I put on there? I don't know how that works when I put it on Trail Mix. It must. I guess you have to click it, turn it on.
You have to turn it on, but yes, it's still running.
Well, that's good because I don't want it to autoplay. That would be annoying. Like for everybody to have to sit there and listen to us while they're.
So I'm right. They need to get it on.
Yeah, I will. That's so right for not getting on here.
If
Well,
anyone said,
I guess I can see there's a couple of people I know for certain of them that they have severe privacy issues.
Yeah, I could understand that.
And I have a little, it's like I said the other day, I very much try to edit the way I couch my opinions, because I don't want to get attention of anybody, because I can't afford a lawyer, you know?
Well, and Cash Patel will send the agents to our houses. He's all proud of himself today. I noticed he put a tweet up about no one's above the law, bragging about raiding John Bolton's house. I just have I was thinking, this is so classic for that crowd, is they break the law and then say no one's above the law. They turn everything on its head, so that, if they restrict your free speech, then what they're protecting free speech,
Yeah.
because they're protecting everyone else from hearing you, so they call that protecting free speech. So everything they do, they say it's just the opposite of what they're actually doing.
They've discovered they can say anything. It will get on the news as they say it.
Yeah.
And with very little, and what the news will do is find a liberal Democrat, and he'll start screaming it's nonsense. And, like I say, two opinions does not get you to the truth.
Yeah.
and they seem to have absolutely no concept of irony. And
no.
I love the complaints about Newsom not realizing that. Don't you know he is making fun of you stupid people?
Yeah. No, they were taking that so seriously, and and a lot of them, I think a lot of Trump supporters, even, or at least people who don't mind him or maybe even voted for him, a lot of people have not seen the videos that Trump World puts out of him as a cartoon character like Superman and all that stuff that Newsom was doing. They don't realize that that's a parody of something exactly like, but they mean it seriously, that the Trump World does with those crazy videos of him, stalking. I mean, there's one they've got out where he's, being lifted up by angels, and God is smiling on him and everything. And they put that out as a serious video about Trump.
What I worry about is
just
he
being
believes it.
creative,
I honestly think that is what he thinks of himself.
Yeah.
I think Trump very much understands who he is. He knows he's a con. He's been doing it all his life. He knows what he is.
Oh, well, from that standpoint, yes.
So,
Yeah.
Can you imagine being so deficient as a human being that you think you have to do that?
Yeah, that's the point. That's the point. Is the insecurity of the man is just beyond any measuring. I've studied him so closely for so long, and I still can't answer the fundamental question sometimes when I see him say stuff. Does he actually believe that, or does he know he's lying? I can't always tell. So sometimes I think he's actually convinced himself of some of these things.
Well, I think there's some things, his opinions about Russia and stuff are very much influenced by his family history.
How so?
Well, that's why you see the gold paint everywhere.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
And given his father's activities, I think the racism is really at the core. That's why he gets along so well with Miller. That
Yeah.
he genuinely believes that people who are not white are deficient or in some and even
Well,
with Judaism, he says, they're good bookkeepers kind of thing.
right. Well, yeah. I mean, that's the casino. I love every time I see him, I turn up the volume. Is that casino man, the guy that managed one of his casinos, who's a tell-all, and he tells that story that you're referring to, where they had a black guy as the CEO, as the financial officer, the top accountant at the casino, and Trump saw him and said, "I don't want blacks counting my money. I only want the guys with beanies counting my money. You got to fire that guy and hire one of those guys with beanies. That's the only people he wanted counting his money." Of course, they went bankrupt.
Well, that's why I say it takes some talent to have a money-making machine and go bankrupt.
Yeah, at a casino. Yeah, that's right.
Anyway, love chatting with you guys, and keep it up amongst yourselves, but I've got stuff to do.
Yeah, I think it's about time. What is it? Oh, it's 2:00. Oh, yeah, we've been on for 45 minutes.
Yeah.
But we're getting to where we're just like it's a little bit like the coffee shop. We all need our cup of coffee and
Cracker
Yeah,
Barrel.
right.
We're
Well,
at
I'm
the
gonna
Cracker Barrel.
go forward with this plan now, where we just set up a time, and I'm just going to set it up live, and then people can watch it if they don't want to participate. I don't know. We'll try that for a while.
no, we're getting.
I'm like my favorite Franklin Roosevelt quote is when he signed Social Security into law. They said, "Well, is this going to work or something?" He says, "Well, we're going to do this, and if it doesn't work, we'll do something else. And if it does work, we'll do it some more." And that's what he said about Social Security. That's my philosophy of life. We'll do it. If it doesn't work, we'll do something else. If it does work, we'll do it some more.
Of course, my son has a T-shirt that's what's going to be on his tombstone. Says,
Yeah.
"Well, that didn't work."
Well, that didn't work. That didn't work.
Hey, Craig.
Bye-bye, Phyllis.
One thing
All right. So long.
Washington, D.C., I was seeing that J.D. Vance was being booed, and he blamed it on just a bunch of hippies. And I said, somebody should have told him that's what Washington, D.C. looks like.
Yeah. It's like, I mean, every time I walk down the street anymore, I smell pot. I think everybody in the city is just stoned now to try to get through the Trump years. That's what it's. I smell it right now, as a matter of fact. Sitting here in Dupont Circle.
Well, enjoy.
All right.
Take a deep breath and enjoy.
Yeah. All right.